Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the IR4 podcast review of some digital assets. It's January 27th and it has been a quiet few days. We got Ethereum right here on the list, and as we look at Ethereum, we'll notice that the 50 EMA, which is this green line, is holding us up a little bit as support. This stop was just for a little bit more of an aggressive swing that entered down here. So right now, overall, I think that 50 is going to hold it up, but here's the weekly chart. You got the 10 EMA on the weekly coming through, which is also a good sign. And honestly, I really like the rest. I mean, everything needs to rest. We've been trading pretty sideways since January 17th, so almost 10 days. I like this. I like it a lot. This is a pretty rare instance on most cryptos to trade sideways this long. So it's a good thing, I feel like, right now, and I don't really see too much changing. But the 50 EMA should be holding this up, and I'm expecting some type of this double bottom, triple bottom pattern to slowly start taking off, hopefully in a matter of weeks. Now, is Bitcoin going to follow is the big question. So Bitcoin got about 417,000 messages. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but people were losing their minds about Bitcoin futures expiring on Friday, and I told everyone that it literally was going to be a non-event because, well, it wasn't. I mean, it's not going to be an issue. So Bitcoin, yeah, it retraced. Again, guys, think about it. We were at this price a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. So we had the $10,000 mark, big number, had a huge 100% gain in weeks, and then we've corrected. This is a distribution phase. So the last review I had, we mentioned, it was right about here. I mentioned we were going to pop up, trade back down, consolidate, and then potentially continue lower. Or I'm sorry, continue higher. So we could go lower, obviously, on Bitcoin. We probably will. Bitcoin's still losing its valor, if you will. I mean, it does cost a lot of money right now to transact, right? It does cost a lot of money to get in and out of a wallet. Transaction fees are high and a little bit slower compared to the other coins. So it's going to take a while for the whole digital gold or gold 2.0, if you will, that whole mantra to catch on for Bitcoin. So I don't know exactly how low it's going to go while it's consolidating, but my target is it really shouldn't break below 7 at any particular point in time. It obviously could, but I don't necessarily think it will. As long as it stays above 7 for a while and consolidates and trades, that'll be pretty comfortable, right? This is about a 50% pullback, give or take, which is healthy, right? That's comfortable in percentage ratios. So it just happened a lot faster than it happens for most stocks or of course, other currencies. But if you trade options, you all know that a 50% move is nothing. So percentage, it's all relative. I like to pull back to the 100 simple. That's really where I expected a bounce on Bitcoin. That's kind of where we're getting it. Here's the weekly chart on Bitcoin. And again, the 20 EMA is holding that up. So you get some nice lower shadows. So this is a cool inside week, a pretty rare one. The last inside week we got on a weekly chart was back in December 25th. And then the other one that we got was September 19th. And both of those were black candles inside other black candles with nice long lower shadows. So all I'm saying is this is an inside week. Both of those other inside weeks got to pop the next week. That's kind of what I'm expecting, is some bullishness to start coming in on Bitcoin around this area. It is a low level. I did buy some more on Friday. Not a lot more, about 120 bucks down here, but I'm just adding to my position, right? Every 2 weeks or a week or so, I'm buying more just in smaller increments. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on Bitcoin. Litecoin, I haven't done anything with realistically recently. I did buy like 75 bucks worth down here. 151.93 is going to be a really strong support, and we're going to consolidate here for a bit. What's interesting is Litecoin traded right down to the 100 simple, which is another spot that I bought some more right off the 100. And again, it too is going to consolidate for a while. So Litecoin's a little bit of the slower one. So notice this move, right? Huge run up, trade down to the 100, and we chopped around the 100 for like 2 or 3 months before we went higher. I think that's a very good chance that's exactly what happens on Litecoin. Litecoin will end up becoming probably one of the more less volatile coins. I said less volatile in air quotes, of course. We've only hit the 100 once. Very quiet day out in crypto land. Very, very quiet. So if you're looking at a location for most of these assets to start potentially getting long, this is probably a decent spot. It's quiet. It could shake the ground with a bearish move. I kind of doubt it down here, but you never know. If we get any kind of good South Korea news, then these things will pop really nicely. So here's Ripple US dollar, XRP USD, and Ripple US dollar looks a little on the weak side. So again, you got a nice hammer tweezer bottom type of pattern down here. Trade down, trade up. Looks like we're going to potentially go a little bit lower again before we bounce on Ripple. That's obviously not for sure, but it hasn't hit the 100 yet. Most of the other coins have, and Ripple hasn't. So here's the weekly, right? Just had this ginormous spike out of here. Huge volume coming down to some of these moving averages. So Ripple just hanging out again, probably goes a little bit lower. Most people bought it up on the potential rumor that it was going to get added to Coinbase. If it doesn't get added to Coinbase soon, then yeah, I think Ripple probably keeps going down a little bit lower, at least into the 100. If it breaks the lows of these two candles, which is 0.87, so that is a tweezer bottom. If Ripple takes out the low and closes below the low of those 2 days, we're absolutely going to go lower. Probably at least into the 68 cents, but maybe even lower than that. So keep an eye on Ripple. It'll get another good buying opportunity at some point, but I don't think it's it right now. So here's XBT, Ripple Bitcoin. So buying some Ripple with your Bitcoin. It's kind of hanging here at the 50. So it bounced off the 50 once. We will see if it can bounce off of the 50 again. It traded to a very, very obvious resistance up here, about 0.2 and some change, because it's been up here before, Ripple Bitcoin, back in May of 2017. So, yeah, I mean, last time we traded down and we bounced off the 50 once, twice, had a good bounce off the 50. So again, if you're looking at buying some Ripple with your Bitcoin, that's probably a smart idea, because it done it last time twice, and it came back down, did a third time, and then cranked lower. So I'm expecting a bounce off of here like this, and then if it rolls back over, and again, potentially another bounce, if it doesn't break higher from that point, you'll have a little bit of a rough go, I think, on Ripple. So here's EOS XBT, one of my larger positions so far, and it's really enjoying this move. The bear market, quote unquote, the pullback that we've gotten on some assets hasn't affected EOS at all. So that's exciting, I feel like. Right now it's just kind of hanging out. Bought a lot down here, and it's pretty much doubled since then. So trend looks good. This is a phenomenal pennant pattern right there. Very pretty pennant. So I'm still a fan of EOS right now. EOS, here's EOS US dollar over here on Bitfinex. And this trend also looks pretty healthy at the present moment. You had a nice resistance level get broken out over here. We've retested that resistance level once. We pulled down to the 50 and got a hammer. Right now we're making lower highs and higher lows, and you got a beautiful pennant right there on EOS dollar. So if this thing breaks out, I mean, I could see it in the mid 30s, no problem, mid-year, May, June, especially if it trades sideways another month or two. So I'm probably going to start looking to add some of my EOS positions, and I might even be buying EOS with some Ethereum on Kraken, EOS, ETH. So that right now is also just kind of trading sideways. So if and when this resistance gets broken out on EOS, Ethereum, that's going to be a beautiful pop. I'll probably set a limit to buy some more down here, and I'll set a limit to buy some more down here if it pulls back, something like this. And then I'll add an alert to buy some if it breaks out of here. But EOS, Ethereum, so I'm buying a lot of EOS. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Buying some with some Ethereum, buying some with some Bitcoin, and interested to see what happens from here. I think that's about it. I know you guys love looking at IOTA, so here's IOTA dollar and IOTA, Internet of Things, at the 100. I mean, you can't get a much better spot to buy than that. Incredible risk reward. Again, almost tweezer bottom right here. So there's where you can put your stop for a short-term swing. It's a phenomenal buying spot on IOTA for anyone who's looking at playing that. And I think the other one I had was NEO USD, NEO US dollar, which I have not heard of. There's a lot of them out there that I haven't heard of, but I might look more into this one. Trend looks pretty good. Daily chart looks nice. Buy the dip. I mean, 50 EMA. I'd look to buy it probably at 104, 105 off of the 50. I don't know if it's going to get down there, but it probably will. And last but not least, your boy Dash. Let's go look at Dash Bitcoin on Poloniex. This is the one that Ashley trades all the time because she just trades this channel. Right now, not much is happening on Dash Bitcoin, but we got Dash USD over here in Kraken. And it's also had a beautiful pullback again down to the 100. Most coins did. If we break the 100 on a lot of these, the 200 just simply the next spot to look to go long. So that's kind of Dash US dollar off of the 100. Looks nice. Again, pretty healthy retracement. I think most of these moves are healthy. We mentioned most of these moves are healthy. I don't think this is the end of the market by any means. And it's pretty much my thought on that one. So I'm going to go look at Monero, and then we'll be done. So here's the Monero dollar. And Monero dollar trading in a nice little range. A little bit more of a volatile one for sure, but you have a decent distribution phase coming in, something like that. So you want to kind of buy this one a little bit on the low side as well. Beautiful bounce off the 100 simple back in November. That was just too easy. Very nice bounce off of it down here and down here. So if it comes back down to it again, look to buy the dip. So sorry, there's just so many now. I keep forgetting. Stellar, XLM, XBT. So Stellar having some good news coming out, and XLM, XBT on Binance, beautiful breakouts, looks really good there. Here's XLM, XBT on Kraken, which is the one that I trade. This red line was the line to buy the dip, and old resistance, new support. In fact, let me just hop over back to this chart on my XLM XBT so you guys can kind of see that analysis. But Stellar was a beautiful dip buying opportunity, and it really, this one, EOS and Ethereum, I think are the three that held up the absolute best during this pullback, which tells me that those might drop while the other big coins go down, and kind of vice versa. But here's Stellar, right? And so wanted to pull back to this blue line down here at 29 cents. So it has more than doubled since then at that buying spot location, folks. It's 100% return. It obviously didn't pull more back to 20 cents, or I would have bought more. But just a beautiful retest, snagged a little bit, 40 cents, snagged a lot more down here at 30 cents, and it is just scorching. So I think XLM XBT, strong little cookie, my friends, strong cookie. And I think there is some really good chance that one continues higher. I'll look at Stellar, XLM, trying to see what else we need, if there's anything else we'd look on. No, I think we're good. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much our wrap up. We're going to have a nice show next week. If you guys have any requests, anything you want to talk about, let's get this community lively. We're going to start seeing some more patrons join in the next few weeks, I'm sure, as I do have a cryptocurrency program coming out for my company, Real Life Trading. But you guys all know that because I think 99% of you are all real life traders anyway. So I'll see you guys there next week. Thanks so much. You guys rock. Bye.